But let me just, let me address both of those as quickly as I can. So as far as Mihir is concerned, because he talked about investment, let me just put up a few numbers. So in 2013-14, the amount of private equity and venture capital going into India was $10 billion a year. Now the amount of private equity and venture capital going into India is $35 billion a year. If there was a crisis in private investment, why has private equity and venture capital, the smartest, savviest, cleverest investors on the planet, more than 3 times increased their investment in India if there was an investment crisis? So there is no investment crisis. If you look at FPI also has been going up. That's foreign portfolio flows. Certainly FDI and of course private equity, venture capital have all gone up dramatically in the last 5 years and are continuing to grow very, very rapidly. So there is no private investment crisis. It is true that we had in 2007-8 a peak of investment that was largely driven by very, very lax credit policies, very promiscuous lending, which came to a crashing halt when actually there was a stronger effort to ensure that underwriting standards were much more disciplined. We of course went through the asset quality review, which I myself along with Dr. Rajan undertook when we were in the Ministry of Finance, and that naturally meant that a lot of investments that were not being done for the right reasons stopped. And that's part of the reason why investment, if you look at it at a macro level, in terms of the investment ratio relative to GDP, has come down. But today, and I'll just give you one example to show you why these macro numbers cannot be relied on. But today, investment is strong in all the sectors that need investment. Today, if you're looking to grow and you have a thriving business, let's ask Kalyan Krishnamurthy, who just got $16 billion from Walmart to make an investment in Flipkart. So and Ritesh is here from Oyo Roots. He's got a lot of money coming in from SoftBank. So if you've got scalable, large-scale businesses, they are getting funding. And in fact, a lot of people will tell you that valuations are at very stretched high levels because there's too much capital chasing too few deals. So that's happening absolutely on the ground. And now let me just very quickly illustrate why these macro investment numbers are something that we need to take with a full, not just a grain of salt, but a tumbler of salt. Because let's take aviation, which is something I know about. In aviation today, all planes are leased. They're not bought. Does that show up as investment? It doesn't show up as an investment. But if you look at the number of planes we had in 2014, there were 420 planes that we had in 2014. Today we have almost 700 planes. We've added 300 planes in 5 years. Has that shown up as an investment on the macro numbers? No, because the planes are being leased instead of being bought. So we have to be very careful about these large statements that are made about investment numbers, because there's a lot of business model and structural changes that is happening underneath these numbers. Capital and the use of capital has become much more efficient. So that's on the investment crisis. Now let's come to agriculture. Obviously there are a whole host of challenges that we're dealing with in agriculture, but there are solutions at hand as well. If you look at the Jal Jeevan Mission, which is to address the water issue, the government is pouring 3 lakh crores into Jal Jeevan Mission, और हम लोग कह रहे हैं